What's up, Starcraft fans? Last time we did Zagara, Scourge Queen. That was pretty easy. We'll do a harder one this time, Vorazun. We'll use Keeper of Shadows so that all my Shadow Guard respawn when I use Time Stop. My masteries are Black Hole Duration because I need to keep control of the waves. I'll go with Shadow Guard Duration so that my Shadow Guard are more effective, or they are able to be on the field for longer. And Spear of Rune Energy, so I have more Spear of Rune stuff like, the Shadow Guard and the Black Hole. So, map is once again Oblivion Express. We have to destroy 9 trains. Let's do this. Thank you to Endarth, Lucinus, Imperius, and Shadow Archon who are supporting me in the Pulse Cannon tier. And thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. Once again, we are on the Maguro map of Oblivion Express against Zerg because we want to control the enemy composition. So it's the same across every single video of this series. So this run is going to be a little different from your normal Vorazun run. In normal Vorazun runs, of course, we go for Dark Templar and Corsair. That won't be different here. The difference is the Dark Templar and Shadow Guard have an ability called Shadow Strike or Shadow Fury that is commonly used in co-op because it allows the Dark Templar to attack multiple targets at once. And how it works is the Dark Templar, well, visually at least, the Dark Templar teleports to different targets in a circle and damages all those targets. I think it's up to 4 of them. The thing is, even though it visually looks like the Dark Templar teleports to each and then does a melee swipe, in reality, how that ability works is you cast or you apply Shadow Fury to a circle on the map, and the Dark Templar from its origin point, meaning somewhere that's within range of that circle, will perform Shadow Fury in that circle that's within its range. That means Shadow Fury qualifies as a ranged ability, which means it does not count for this run. What that ultimately means is I will have to beat this. I will have to solo this map without Shadow Fury. I will use Corsair since I will need anti-air. The Dark Templar are not known for their anti-air capabilities. But the Corsairs will help clean the few air units though there, and that is synergistic and applicable for this because I can just deduct them. They do not hit ground, so everything they hit is just air, and they are not melee units either, so there we go. The only thing that will help the Dark Templar here from the Corsair is, well, I mean, aside from the anti-air, we'll also have Disruption Web. The Disruption Web will use a medium-sized circle on the ground where enemies in that area cannot use their abilities. That will allow the Dark Templar free reign in that specific region where they will not be damaged. Of course, there are units at the rear, siege tanks, hydralisks, that can outrange the Disruption Web, so they can still shoot from outside the Disruption Web through and to my Dark Templar. So that is the only consideration here when using the Disruption Web. I mean, not consideration, that is the not the downside. The gap in the ability, the powerful ability of Disruption Web is completely legal because it does not deal damage. So I use the Shadow Guard here at 3 minutes 30 seconds because I want the Shadow Guard to be available for the first wave. That's at 4 minutes. If I use the Shadow Guard exactly at 3 minutes, when it first goes online, they will not be able to be available when the Zerglings first arrive. And you can see Blink is a completely okay ability since the Blink just makes the Dark Templar and Shadow Guard just move closer and close in to their target. But as long as their actual attacks are from melee range, that is completely okay. So a couple times this game, I accidentally forgot to switch off Shadow Fury on my Shadow Guard, and they did deal damage, but it was not. I have determined that it's not significant enough to cause a massive or a material effect, a material impact on this game. So I've chosen to not discount those 2 errors of using Shadow Fury. But normally I try actively not to do it. So 5:25. I use Tutu's guide, by the way. Tutu has a guide on when to use time stop to bug the trains. Vorazun has a time stop bug on this map in particular, wherein if she hits time stop when the escorts are stopped waiting for the train, the escorts will miss their queue on the train, and they will just keep standing. You can see the escorts are just standing there. They didn't follow the train. That will allow my Dark Templar and Shadow Guard to have free reign on the train. And that's gonna be very instrumental here. I will use the time stop on 4 separate instances. 3 of them will coincide with when the escort is waiting for the train. That means I will bug the trains thrice. And in 2 of those instances, it's the double train. And that's going to be really good because the double trains are pretty difficult. So I do actually want to use that train bug on the double trains. I will link to, I'll probably forget. Remind me to link the Tutu guide down below. Thank you. Next wave is approaching into 7 minutes. We will clean this up using what remains of our Shadow Guard. They do count here as melee units because I just used Blink to close in on the target, but they're still absolutely melee units in this usage at least. Next, engagement will happen once the 8-minute train spawns. It will spawn from the far west side, as you may already know. It will make its way through this railway in the center of the map, just below our main base. And our job will be to intercept that train. Now, I will not have time stop in time to bug the trains, but it will still be available to kind of give my Dark Templar free reign on the map. As you can see, I've already completed, well, not really completed the cloaking field, but I have started the disruption web research. Once the disruption web completes, my Corsairs will be pretty good at letting my Dark Templar engage freely without fear of getting shot back. So for the rest of the game, I will just be mass producing these Dark Templar, running them to the front. I will probably at some point blink these guys downstairs so they don't have to kind of run all the way around. But that's gonna be for a bit of time. Spoiler alert. So 9:50 is when I drop the second time stop, because that's what it says on Tutu's guide. It's probably just gonna allow you enough time to have the time stop available again at the double train wave. I guess it's fine. I use another black hole. Just delete all these guys, make them not a thing, and allow my Dark Templar free reign on the battlefield. You can see these Corsairs are absolutely not hitting the lurkers. Draw time stop here. That will revive the Shadow Guard, and I revived the Shadow Guard here because I needed time to switch off the manual autocast. So I intentionally spawned the Shadow Guard further away so I have time to switch off the autocast of Shadow Fury, because as I mentioned, Shadow Fury is a ranged ability. I do not want to count Shadow Fury here, so I switched it off. Next wave, 10 minutes, coming from the southeast. I'm going to intercept this, delete this. Ooh, I forgot to switch that off. I think that was the first instance where I forgot to switch it off. But that is, as I said, not that material. The fight would have gone not very differently. I might have taken a few extra shots, but I don't think it was that material. So I will not count that against my Shadow Guard. Just only Shadow Guard know how to use Shadow Fury for this game, by the way, because I did not research Shadow Fury for my regular Dark Templar. Next attack will be the train, which I think will spawn soon. I think 11:40, because I did use time stop, which will also delay the train spawns. I've researched the upgrade on the stasis ward of the oracles, so that oracles can deploy their stasis wards, which will freeze the enemy units and allow my Dark Templar more free reign to just kind of delete whatever it is that's trying to get in our faces. Yeah, I deploy those there. I did catch like 1 or 2 guys, not that impactful. Yeah, just individual lurkers, not that big, but you know, it's something. It's something. It's most certainly something. air unit, I'll just use my Corsairs to delete that. It's not that big of a deal. Just a single Overseer. 200 health. That will not deter too much from the overall damage of my Dark Templar. You can see there's a lurker here. So just delete those guys. And the hybrids are starting to pop up. So I have to engage those guys. Just blink forward to close in on these guys. And then subsequently delete the hybrids. Just use blink to get in front. As you can see, I don't actually have time to chase that first bonus, which is why I've just decided to defend this wave. You can see I've captured several of those guys, really limiting their ability to get any damage done on my guys. You can see time stop is almost available. It will actually be available for the first set of double trains. The next thing we have to take care of is a double train set. Meaning one from here, the northwest exit, and here, the midwest exit. I will drop time stop to bug both trains to allow my Dark Templar free reign, basically. Turns out I do have enough time to chase after this train. We just like chasing trains, guys. Again, we cannot use Shadow Fury. I mean, I didn't research it, so even if I wanted to use it, I can't. Just keep whacking this thing until it's down. Just blink forward to get more surface area on the train. Just keep blinking and then just delete these guys. 14-minute double train time. The time stop timing for this one will be at 15 minutes 15 seconds. I'm literally looking at 2 Sky on my other screen, so there we go. So wait for 15 minutes 15 seconds. I use the Dark Pylon recall here in the base. So 3, 2, 1, drop time stop. And again, manually switch off the the autocast of the Shadow Fury and just close in. I mean, I will still take the free hits on all of these guys because the damage is one of the primary stats that I will count for this series, which is why it is actually helpful to just kill those escorts. I believe, yes, I have switched off the Shadow Fury on these things. And remember, this train did have an escort, but it's bugged. So it's no longer being escorted. I did make a pylon here so I can make Dark Templar down there. Just blink forward. Again, blink does not count. Or blink is legal. Is a legal move in this case. Because the blink only allows the Dark Templar to close in. It is not actually using blink to attack an enemy. Well, it's using blink to attack, but not... The blink itself is not the attack. That's why it's legal. There it is. Stasis wards kind of whiffing. They're just catching random Zerglings. Aemon is pretty good about setting off the stasis wards this time. Delete these. Abs. Next point of concern will be the train that will spawn down here. The sixth train. Of course, during the meantime, I can just have free reign to delete all these roaches here. I'm not quite confident enough to push into this base like I was for Zagara, because my powerful ability in this case for Vorazun is a ranged ability, so can't really use it. If I did use it, it will probably be enough to clear this base, but alas, such is our fate of doing an all melee challenge. Not all melee challenge, just max melee challenge. There we go, maximize the melee. You can see this is the escort. This is the escort from the earlier train. It's kind of funky. Catch a couple of strays here, not that big of a deal. Not really the big fish that I want to fry. Just deal a bit of damage to these guys. You can see my Dark Templar being death recalled. That is one of Vorazun's perks. The queens are actually proving to be quite annoying here because they are decloaking my guys, and what that means is when my guys are decloaked, the death recall will not activate. I think that was the second instance where I forgot to switch off Shadow Fury. There it is. Yeah, that might have been. Yeah, it's still active for some reason. I should really switch it off. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I didn't notice it was actually being used. But again, it's not that impactful. I just gotta clean this up. Use every bit of resource I got to fight these guys. I think I might have to drop a black hole just to clean up this attack wave. I am dropping in supply quite heavily. I might actually have to drop... Yes, I do drop a black hole just to help clean up these guys. I should probably be dropping a stasis ward right now to help clean these guys, but ultimately the damage output of my Dark Templar is sufficient to clean these. I have been upgrading them. You can see they have +3 attack and +1 shield upgrades, so that does help a little bit. But still, the story remains. I only have 20 Dark Templar to my name. I'm going up to 24, so that's something. Next train will be a bit of a reprieve for me because it is a double train spawn, and I have the time stop available once again. I believe at 21 minutes 30 seconds. I don't quite remember the timing. Let me look at Tutu's guide. 21:30, there it is. 21 minutes 30 seconds is when I dropped time stop. I also had the guide, by the way, at the side when I was doing this. I needed to concentrate. Drop that Shadow Guard, and yes, switch off the Shadow Fury so they can attack normally with their melee attack, which will absolutely count. Just clean up as much as we can. Blink away as the time stop dissipates so that we won't take on any damage that we don't need to take on. Clean these guys. Clean up the hybrids. That is a little bit of an attack, but I have guys fighting these train cars, but attack waves over here. I think I make an executive call here to just delete this train because I can sacrifice. I have a bunch of pylons here that will get deleted, but it'll hold for long enough. It will hold the enemy long enough for my army to get here, and ideally stop this whole attack from destroying my expansion. I am still whacking away. You can see I'm not using the Shadow Fury here, even though I really want to. And these two idiots just randomly attacking a rock. I should have cleared that much earlier. That was my fault. But as you can see, we did escape with this base fully intact. Just circling back to this area, you can see I did wall off here, so my Dark Templar have to go around to fight these hybrids. Just delete these guys. Yeah, I think this is the train that I just forgo. It was not important enough to chase. I do leave a bit of damage on the table, but the important thing is I survive for the last wave. I do have enough here for another time stop. Or another black hole, rather, not time stop. And drop the black hole right here. Just clean out all these guys. Oh, second wave. I should really have been dropping that. Oh, that might sting. The fungal might sting my Dark Templar. Not quite. Not quite. We survive, guys. How many Dark Templar do I... Oh, that's actually a pretty sizable number. That's like 38 or something? 38 or something. There we go. Now it's more like 41. There we go, 41. And here comes that wave. I do drop time stop. And I believe the strategy here was to just... Ooh, once again, a Shadow Fury. Okay, it was just once. It was just once, and then I switch it off right away. And then the ball game here is to just destroy the train before the escorts wake up and start whacking my entire army. And that is successful. We do in fact delete the train. That is very well done by my Dark Templar. Like Vorazun said, well done. Hope I enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you have an idea of what else to do, please leave it in the comment. Let's check out the score screen. Damage-wise, we have 235. Shutter guard, there it is. 235, 714. Multiply that by 57.6. 57, not 75, 57.6%. And 40%. A flat 40%. Nice. That is 230,000 damage. Not the highest, not the lowest. It's right in the middle. It's the median number so far. For the cost, you will have... Oh, we'll have to... Oh, wait. Total damage first. Yes. It's at 2.98. Yeah, it's the median. And then... Cost. Shadow Guard completely free. That does not matter. What matters is 101 created Dark Templar. Multiply that by 125. Add 75. That's 200 by 101. 20,000 resources, minerals, and gas for the Dark Templar. Percentage of kills. We just add these two. Wait, let me just... Wow. 59%. Add 37%. Multiply it by 3. And copy format. Cost efficiency. There we go. The cost efficiency. It's actually the... It's also the median so far. Yeah, the median in cost efficiency. Alright, guys. Now it's your turn. I don't think Vorazun quite has enough to surpass Zagara. Not even if Vorazun gets full points in votes. But you can still make a difference. Vorazun can still finish fairly high depending on how you guys vote. A poll will go up tomorrow asking you guys whether you like Vorazun's Dark Templar and Shadow Guard relative to other co-op melee units. Note, melee. So don't count the Shadow Fury for that purpose. I'll see you guys next time.